This is Colby. He's the mindfulness dog. Got to get your attention somehow, haven't I? And he's a whole lot cuter than I am, ain't you, mate? He knows a thing or two about mindfulness. Not all mindfulness courses are the same. This particular course, it's evolved over many years. I started teaching mindfulness 20 years ago nearly now, so long before mindfulness was fashionable. And I just want to give you an idea of what this course is about, because it's quite unlike any other mindfulness course that you're going to come across. Well, it's about 5,000 people now, and this has changed a lot of people's lives, and many people come back and even do it more than once. I think the record number is 8 or 9 times. They didn't learn anything the first time, so they're not going to learn anything the 8th or 9th time. Now, this course is suitable for beginners, and it's suitable for people who are more advanced in their practice. And as you get more involved in mindfulness, you understand that there isn't really a great deal to learn intellectually. And that's kind of my challenge in teaching in mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't something that you grasp in your head. It's not thought-based. It's not analytical-based. It's a state of being, a state of awareness that arises when you're not grasping intellectually. And if you're acutely mindful, then you might find there's no thinking going on at all. So if you understand it, that's not it. But I'm not messing about. And although we're going to start with the basics, I'm interested in exploring with you some of the really profound aspects of mindfulness and opening your mind to many new possibilities. Mindfulness isn't something that you grasp here. It's not an intellectual discipline. It's a state of mind. And the only way really to learn that state of mind is to experience it and to cultivate it through practice. So right at the beginning, I'm going to help you find that acute state of mindfulness and bring you into a state of awareness where you're totally alert and fully conscious, but your thinking quietens, and you can get a little gap between you and your thoughts. And that, for many people, is absolutely liberating, because that allows you the possibility of standing back and really starting to take effective control over your own thoughts and where they go and what they do to you. And that can be totally liberating. So that's really week 1. We're going to experience that state of mind for real and try and hold that for as much of the class as possible. And we're going to explore how we practice mindfulness of thoughts, how we watch and observe our thoughts, and we'll explore the power of now, the sense behind giving our full attention to the present moment and how that helps cultivate mindfulness. In the second week, we're going to look at my particular favourite approach to mindfulness, and that's an approach that I call the way of the body. And that's how we use the body as a vehicle to access this state of mind through our sensory awareness. And we're going to explore how through the body we can start to make mindfulness a practice that we bring into every aspect of our lives, with everything that we do. In the third week, we're going to just sort of touch upon the spiritual aspect to mindfulness. There are people that will tell you that you can take spirituality out of mindfulness and reduce it simply to a science or a practical discipline, but you can't. And even if, like me, you come to mindfulness for very practical real world issues, and I came to mindfulness to deal with my addictions and depression for real world issues. And most people come to mindfulness that way, and it helps, it works. But after a while, you find that there's something more here. That there's a mindfulness reveals to you a depth to you, and a depth to the world, and a depth, an understanding of the nature of reality that you can't grasp through your intellectual mind. In fact, that's really what mindfulness means. It's accessing the fullness of mind. And that is the spiritual dimension. We're going to look at mindfulness and emotions, and how to separate our thoughts from our feelings and start to break patterns of self-inflicted suffering. We'll explore how we manage feelings in the body and process them consciously. And we're shying away from emotions. Mindfulness is about feeling deeply, feeling really intensely. So we manage them consciously rather than reacting to them, rather than projecting more pain and suffering into the world and causing ourselves and other people more harm, and how to actually turn historical pain into a process for transformation and evolution. In the 5th week, we're going to explore what we call in mindfulness the ego. And that's not strictly speaking what Freud meant by the ego. I'm not quite sure what Freud meant by anything. What do you reckon, Kobe? Do you know what Freud meant? What I mean by the ego is our identity, our programming, what psychologists call conditioning. Layers and layers of learning, our automatic behaviours, our automatic responses, our program, if you like, our learning. And as we become more aware, it allows us to stand back and literally observe these patterns, beliefs and responses and ideas that don't serve us, and we can start to consciously choose to override those. In the 6th week, we're going to look at the kind of the wider aspects of mindfulness, because mindfulness doesn't stop with you, does it? If you're less reactive, if you're calmer and you're happier and you're going to be better to be around. And that affects other people too. It has a kind of ripple effect. We call this the energy of mindfulness. And we'll explore how we cultivate the energy of mindfulness through practices like loving kindness, practices like gratitude, how we can, through our own mindfulness, bring about healing and peace and transformation in the world around us. And I'm not going to teach you all in 6 weeks. That's probably, I'm going to introduce these ideas and we'll get you started on this practice. And it is the most incredible journey of healing and liberation, which I've had the very great fortune to share with about 5,000 people now. And I would very much love you to join me. I'm starting a new series of classes at Neal's Yard very shortly, and it would be fabulous to see you.